We will call this session of Jackson County Board of Education into order. As our tradition, we will take this time to have prayer and silently reflect about the things that are going on in our system and state. I know that Mr. Dukes had an uncle that passed away, and his dad's been in poor health, so lots of needs around, so we'll take this time now to think about those. So if you'll bow with me, please. Thank you. Our first order of business is to consider a motion to approve the agenda as it is presented.
Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
Before we approve the agenda, can I ask for some changes on here?
Yes, what you got?
On B, under general business, said see attached. I didn't get any kind of attachment with it.
Okay.
Can we set that aside the next meeting?
Let's see why not. Can that wait to go on?
We're supposed to have that 48 hours before the board, and I didn't get it.
It was in your drive.
I can't get to the drive.
Okay.
The iPads don't work.
So, Mr. Wright, is it okay?
119 pages is why it's in the drive and not hard copy.
Okay.
My iPad don't work. Mr. Gant's iPad don't work. And I don't think Mr. Story got it, so there's probably 3 of us didn't get that.
Okay. If that can wait, we can put that off and do that next meeting, so. We'll be sure, if you need it, we'll get you a hard copy, printed copy of that.
Okay. Couple more. Under E, under 1E, 1 and 2, board policy says that we're supposed to vote on that prior to them taking these trips. Board policy. 5.24 says we're supposed to vote on that prior, not after. So, well, they probably shouldn't have went then. That's not our problem. We're not.
I think that's something that has happened in the past.
That's against-
We've done that a couple of meetings.
I know, but that's against board policy. If we're gonna start following board policy, we need to follow all board policy.
I'm 100% for that.
All right, do we need to set that aside and not vote on that?
Well, if
It's
we're not
already
gonna-
happened.
they've already taken the trips, so
Well, I guess we don't vote on it then.
we can take those 2 off.
All right. Another one, under employment, A through G. Board policy 6.21 says that we're supposed to have a package for everybody that applies, and we didn't get that this month. It was not made for viewable. So can we set A through G aside under
This
employment?
is what Mr. West had requested. He came to us earlier in the year and said all he wanted was to see who had applied, who we interviewed, and who we were hiring. You came in, we had this question before, and you came to us and you said, that's no problem, that's the way we could do it because,
But
you know,
that's not board policy.
but you
You're
told us
supposed to make it
not.
available for all board members.
You are correct. We will follow
So-
board policy. You need to follow it on that as well.
So, can we set that aside? We didn't get
Have an
that.
opinion on that?
The board policy does say that the packages are to be available. I didn't look at that, so I didn't know it was going to be an issue 48 hours before the meeting, as I remember.
That's right.
And we were doing it. And Mr. West came in and said, you don't have to do this anymore. Let's do it this way. And so we've been doing that since about February till now. And now I think we should leave them on there to vote on this time, and next time we'll have his packet from here on out.
Well,
That's
where we
not-
are now is whether or not it's going to be on the agenda.
Yeah.
And Mr. West, you're trying to approve the agenda. The question is it going to be on the agenda or not? And so you can either leave it on the agenda and address it as you get to it, or strike it from the agenda and you won't ever get to it. So if you leave it on there, then you'll end up considering these, and then you can vote on when Mr. West can make his objection at that time if it's voted on. When it comes to vote. So you can handle it either way.
Okay. Do you see that being the issue if we leave that on and vote on it then?
Well, it is an issue that the board policy was not strictly complied with. However, if you go back and look at pattern and practice, from what I understand, then it is consistent with pattern and practice. And that's why Mr. West should have a chance to make his objection on the record before you vote on it.
Okay. All right. So Mr. West has asked that A through G be removed from the agenda.
Because that's not following board policy, that's right.
I guess what's your opinion?
I hate that we would have people who could be working out there in our schools that we wouldn't get to for another month.
We could have a special call board meeting to approve those.
Okay.
Just,
Then let's strike it and do the packets and come back again and vote.
They're already working, all these people that I see on here except the baseball and,
No, you're looking,
No, no,
you're looking at the
none
wrong
of these are working with us
You're looking
currently.
at, you're looking
Okay.
at the wrong.
Of the employment, the new.
Yes, sir.
okay, they started junior high basketball.
it's,
These gotta be working.
it's, he's talking about these. I need to. A to G. We've got to set some meeting dates anyway, so we will go ahead and take those off, if it's okay with the rest of the board, and we'll set a special call meeting to make those hires. So that's A through G. We'll set those aside. Is there anything else? So we have now we have a motion to approve the agenda as is presented, including the modifications to, under general business B. So we can also do that one at the same time we do our hires.
And that affects one of our transfers as well. No, that does not. Our transfers will be fine. Our transfers are fine. Doesn't affect that.
Okay. So we have an agenda with modifications. Do we have a motion to approve that?
I make a motion, we approve the agenda as modification.
Ms. Story makes a motion, is there a second?
Second.
I guess seconds that. We'll vote. Mr. West?
Yes,
Mr. Story?
Yes,
Yes?
Yes.
And myself is a yes, and that passes 4-0. You just got a question for Mr. Porter about some of the transfers. Okay. All right, so we have an approved agenda with modifications. So under general business, we have consider a motion for any corrections, additions, or deletions to the October 19th, November the 1st, and November the 8th board meeting minutes. Hearing none, we'll move, is there a motion to approve those minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Mr. Story makes a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Dr. Guest seconds that. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to vote. Mr. West?
Yes.
Mr. Story?
Yes,
Dr. Guest?
Yes.
And myself is yes, and that is approved 4-0. We are, yes, set aside D. So we will move to C, and that is consider a motion to approve the copier contract renewal with Beeler Impressions. And Mr. Derek, I'm gonna let you take that.
That was the copier contract, that was approved last year in November's board meeting. And in the contract, we had stipulated that we could do a 1 year and then a renew for 4 years if we were happy with the contract. And we did a survey of school employees, central office staff, and there was a 91.4% that agreed with keeping the current contract with the current copiers, with the current provider. So we just wanted to put that up there to renew it for another 4 years.
Okay, so this is a 4-year renewal.
Right, the state of Alabama, you can only have a 5-year contract, so we did 1, so we renewed it for 4, and then we'll have to rebid it out at the end of the 4.
Mr. Dukes, that's what you understood that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we have the option to get out of this at any time
Yes,
if we
sir. Yes,
choose?
sir. There, if at any time we are unsatisfied with the provider or the copiers themselves, we have every right to exit the contract at any time.
So it just provides that we give so many months written notice to,
It's not in the contract, but I mean, I would assume 30 days notice is usually what we try to give people.
okay,
Why would you need a contract if you could get out of it?
just on price. I would
Well, on the
To
bid.
on the
keep
price.
The price that they put in last year, to keep that price valid for the whole contract. If we had to rebid it out, they could go up on the price, and somebody else could come in and we'd be changing out copiers. So that's why we usually do the first year to see how it works, and then we'll renew up to the 5-year of what Alabama state law allows.
Okay. So, that is the motion to approve the copier contract renewal with Bigler, so that would be for 4 years. All right, do we have a motion to approve that?
I make that motion.
I guess makes a motion, is there a second?
second.
Mr. Story seconds, is there any further discussion on that? Hearing none, we'll move to vote. Mr. West?
Yes.
Mr. Story?
Yes,
Dr. Guess?
Yes.
Myself is a yes, and that is approved 4-0. Under D, consider a motion to amend the Jackson County custodian salary schedule so to convert all current 9-month, 7-hour per day positions to a 9-month, 8-hour per day position, and eliminate the 9-month, 7-hour per day positions from the salary schedule, with the salary to be commensurate with such position. Such amendment shall be effective on the first pay period after the effective date of this amendment, and all current employee contracts shall be amended to reflect the change in the salary schedule. And this is something I think we discussed at in July, wasn't it?
July 27th.
July 27th. Mr. Dukes, if you don't care, before we consider putting this on the table, do you want to refresh us on one that was
This
needed?
has caused us some issues as far as retirement, because these 7-hour employees are not full-time employees, and an 8-hour employee is a full-time employee. And so when it comes time to retirement, they're short. They're short on their time, and you know that really to them they're working a 7-hour day, which is a full day. So this is not fair to them. you know, as far as retirement or anything else. So I think we need to get everybody on the same page. And it's not that we're gonna be able to tell a great deal now, but on down the line, it'll make a big difference, a huge impact.
Okay.
So what you're saying, it's not gonna cost any more money?
It will cost a little more money. It's gonna cost from a 7-hour to an 8-hour. So it will increase the salary. And I think it's, how many do we have left? 6, okay.
6, 7-hour employees left. Okay. I knew we had some discussion, and I think we did have somebody who was ready to retire, and they realized that they were gonna be short some months, I believe.
Yes, sir. I've been working with Mr. Dukes on this for
Yeah.
several months.
So this is something, I think even in July, you agreed that this is something that needed to happen, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
Seem like we might keep some employees a little longer if we pass this.
We definitely keep them longer if we keep it at 7 hours, but they're not retiring when they think they're gonna be able to retire. Kinda like April Fools, I guess.
Very unfortunate.
Okay. So, we will allow this to lay on the table for 30 days, and then we will revisit that.
Move to the next regular scheduled board meeting, whatever that is.
Okay, next regular schedule. Okay. Under E, consider a motion to approve the following overnight trips. We have set aside, I believe, 1 and 2. And we have number 3, to approve the Pisgah Varsity Girls Basketball to play in the basketball tournament in Gatlinburg, Tennessee from December the 27th through December the 30th. And we also have Rose Levetta Club to attend State Levetta Club Convention in Birmingham from the 21st, March the 21st through the 23rd. We take those 2 as a group.
That'd be good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we
I
have
make a motion, we approve 3 and 4.
Okay, we have a motion to approve 3 and 4. Okay. Mr. Ford, I think Mr. Dukes said, we'll do that in the discussion side of that, so. We have a motion by Mr. Story,
Second.
and a second by Dr. Guess. So now we have some discussion. Mr. Dukes, I think, has a question for Mr. Porter.
Mr. Porter, since we have been doing this retroactive when it hasn't been in or we haven't had a meeting scheduled, if we remove 1 and 2, even though the trips have already been taken and we're voting on it retroactive, if we're just eliminating this, is that causing us any problems?
And it shouldn't cause any difficulty because, I mean, they've already been in effect with no problems.
That is correct.
So it's not a question of, okay, you need insurance coverage because they're gone and the teachers or the sponsors are with them. I can see no substantial difficulty with not considering these.
Okay.
And I understand what Mr. West said. I haven't looked at that policy, but I trust what he says as far as what the policy currently says. And it is important to prove them before they go, so that they can have the benefit of the board's blessing in going on these trips, although it doesn't cost the board anything. The board's not paying for it. It's just authorization to go as an authorized event. That's the purpose. So they've already been, apparently no difficulty, so I don't see any difficulty with it.
It could be an issue also in the spring when you have basketball teams that
Sure.
win their regional tournaments and qualify going to Birmingham, and there we are between meetings, so.
So, I guess the upshot, you may want to consider thinking about
Policy
changing the
change.
policy, to provide for situations like that, where an event occurs between board meetings and things like that.
Okay.
Or else still allow for retroactive.
That's definitely something to note, to look at. Any other questions regarding either one of those 2 trips that are set aside, or 3 and 4? So we'll look at a policy clarification on those situations that may arise. So we have a motion and a second. We've had discussion. We will now move to vote. Mr. West?
Yes.
Mr. Story?
Yes.
Dr. Guess?
Yes.
And myself is yes, and that carries 4-0. Under personnel actions, we have retirement. Consider a motion to accept the retirement of Joyce Rorks as a countywide special education services aide effective December the 1st, 2017.
I'll make the motion, we approve Ms. Roach.
Story makes a motion. I'll second that. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to vote. Mr. West?
Yes.
Mr. Story?
Yes,
Dr. Guess?
Yes.
Myself is a yes, and that is passes 4-0. Resignations. Consider a motion to accept the resignation of Donna Crabtree as a pre-K aide at Hollywood School effective October 24th, 2017. I'll make that motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Dr. Guess seconds that. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to vote. Mr. West?
Yes.
Mr. Story?
yes,
Dr. Guess?
Yes.
Myself is a yes, and that motion carries. B, consider a motion to accept the resignation of Nathan Lee as a career coach at Epcot effective November the 16th, 2017.
Make that motion.
Dr. Guess makes the motion.
second,
Mr. Story seconds. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Mr. West?
Yes.
Mr. Story?
yes,
Dr. Guess?
Yes.
Myself, it's a yes, and that carries 4-0. Under C, consider a motion to accept the resignation of Hayden Kirby as a countywide special education services aide effective November the 22nd, 2017.
I'll make a motion, we approve that resignation.
Mr. Story makes a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
I guess second. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to vote. Mr. West?
Yes.
Mr. Story?
Yes,
Dr. Guess?
Yes.
And myself is a yes, and that motion carries. Under leaves, consider a motion to approve family medical leave for Martha Clark, CNP worker, from October the 18th, 2017 through November the 3rd, 2017.
we have two family medical leaves there, don't we?
Yeah, we'll take them separately.
Okay,
So we have, the first is a medical leave for Martha Clark.
I make that motion.
All right, Dr. Guess makes a motion.
second,
Mr. Story seconds that. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to vote. Mr. West?
Yes.
Mr. Story?
yes,
Mr. Gant? Dr. Guess?
Yes.
Mr. Gant is absent. And myself is a yes. And that motion carries. Consider a motion to approve the family medical leave for Diane Smith, a countywide bus driver, from November the 6th through February the 5th.
I make that motion.
Dr. Guess makes the motion.
second,
Mr. Story seconds. Any discussion? We'll move to vote. Mr. West?
Yes.
Mr. Story?
yes,
Dr. Guess?
Yes.
Myself is a yes, and that motion carries. Under transfers, consider a motion to transfer Rachel Hill from a 10-month secretary at Hollywood School to 11-month secretary at North Sound Mountain School effective November the 21st, 2017. I'll make that motion. Is there a second?
second,
Mr. Story seconds that. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to vote. Mr. West?
Yes.
Mr. Story?
yes,
Dr. Guess?
Yes.
Myself is a yes, that motion carries. Consider a motion to transfer Samantha Finch from a 50% teacher at Section High School to a 100% teacher at Section High School effective November the 21st.
I make that motion.
All right, Dr. Guess makes a motion. Is there a second?
second,
Mr. Story second that. Any discussion? We'll move to vote. Mr. West?
Yes.
Mr. Story?
yes,
Dr. Guess?
Yes.
Myself is a yes, and that motion carries. Consider a motion to transfer Samantha Carson from countywide instructional aide to 50% teacher at Dutton effective November the 21st, 2017. I'll make that motion.
Second.
Dr. Guess seconds. Is there any discussion? Move to vote. Mr. West?
Yes.
Mr. Story?
yes,
Dr. Guess?
Yes.
Myself is a yes, and that motion carries. Consider a motion to transfer Angie Patton from a 7-hour CNP worker to secretary at Hollywood School effective November the 21st, 2017.
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Story makes the motion.
Second.
Dr. Guess seconds that. Any discussion? Move to vote. Mr. West?
Yes.
Mr. Story?
Yes,
Dr. Guess?
Yes.
Myself is a yes, that motion carries. Consider a motion to transfer Jamie Whitley from a teacher at Paint Rock Valley to a 75% teacher at Stevenson Middle School effective November the 27th, 2017. I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mr. Story seconds that. During discussion. And this is a voluntary transfer. We'll move to vote. Mr. West?
Yes.
Mr. Story?
Yes.
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 Myself is a yes, and that motion carries. We are going to set aside employment A through G. So we'll move to coaching. A, consider a motion to approve Cole Birchfield as a non-faculty coach at Northside Mountain.
I'll make the motion.
Mr. Story makes that motion. Is there a second? I'll second that. Any discussion? Move to vote then. Mr. West?
Yes.
Mr. Story?
Yes.
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 Myself is yes, and that motion carries. B, consider motion to approve Hope Broussard as a JV girls basketball coach at Skyline.
I'll make the motion.
Mr. Story makes that motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Yes, seconds that. Any discussion? We'll move to vote. Mr. West?
Yes.
Mr. Story?
Yes.
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 And myself is yes, that motion carries. Consider a motion to approve Chance McCarver as a junior high boys and ninth grade boys basketball coach at Skyline.
I'll make that motion. I thought we'd already done that.
I don't know
What did we approve him? B-team coach or? B-team.
Assistant.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So it's different teams that we're
Different
approving.
coaching, right.
Okay. Did you make
I'll make the motion.
Okay. Mr. Story makes the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Yes, seconds that. Any discussion? So these are different coaching positions. So, Mr. West,
Yes.
Mr. Story,
Yes.
Dr. Guess?
Yes.
Myself, I have to abstain because of a relation, and that carries 3-0. Consider a motion to approve Chase Bolt as an assistant baseball coach at Skyline. I'll make that motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Story seconds that. Any discussion? And I'll ask, Mr. Bolt has passed his courses. Okay. Any other questions? We'll move to vote. Mr. West?
Yes.
Mr. Story?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Myself is a yes, and that motion carries. Under E, consider a motion to approve Rachel Sisk as a cheerleading coach at Paint Rock Valley.
I'll make the motion.
Mr. Story makes that motion. Is there a second? Okay, Dr. Guess seconds that. Any discussion? We'll move to vote. Mr. West?
Yes.
Mr. Story?
Yes.
Dr. Guess?
Yes.
Myself is a yes, and that motion carries. Consider a motion to approve Slade Bellamy as a head softball coach at Skyline. I'll make that motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Story seconds that. Is there any discussion? And then we'll move to vote. Mr. West?
Yes.
Mr. Story?
Yes.
Dr. Guess?
Yes.
And myself is a yes, that motion carries.
I'd like to ask the question there. How many, I saw where Paint Rock had played a varsity boys game. How many teams have they got?
They've got a varsity girls and a varsity boys team, is that right? Sweet? Yes, and they've got a cheerleading squad this year.
Okay. I knew they had boys because I saw when they played somebody in the paper a couple of times. I hadn't heard the girls. Okay, thank you.
Okay. We have, under announcements, Mr. Dukes, I'll turn that part over to you, and then I'll be looking for a date.
Okay, school board, this is a certificate of achievement for school board members who have achieved levels in Alabama Association of School Boards School Board Member Academy during the 2016-2017 academy year, which ended on June 30th. So we want to applaud their commitment to school board service demonstrated by their participation, and Mr. Gorham is a level 2. Let's give him a round of applause. And Mr. West is a level 3.
Thank you, Mr. Dukes. We have, next we have some meetings that we need to address here. The first would be a special call meeting for not just personnel, but we also going to look at the technology plan there as well. So,
No, it has to be the next regular meeting.
on the
Is that one of the-
technology plan,
No.
that's the,
That's it.
yeah, that's the,
You're good.
okay. So we're gonna have a special call meeting, can we do the 27th, that's a Monday, at
That's not this Monday, is it?
yeah, that'll be the 27th.
I can't.
Got what?
So we can't get the packets, is what she's saying, because tomorrow's only work day
Oh.
between now and then. So that we won't be able to get the packets ready.
No, you can't be here.
What will work for you?
Don't do it on Thanksgiving.
It's gonna take, it'll take her a full day's work, so.
Okay. So you'll do it okay, so the 29th? Okay, I'm good the 29th. 29th at 8 o'clock. That will work for you. What works for you, Dr. Gill?
I'm not gonna be available that week.
Okay. You're not available all that week, right?
Can we do the same day as the 4th?
So,
We can do it at the week of the, we can do it at the 4th.
Ken? Do it on the 4th?
December 4th.
Okay. December the 4th at 5 o'clock. Okay. We were gonna have a special call meeting that day, but it'll just be a meeting then. Okay, so
It should be a special call meeting, unless that's gonna be your December
it will
meeting.
be. We'll have we're gonna look at the 18th at 5 o'clock for our regular December board meeting. So
And
we
this
have
will be a special call.
special call meeting on December the 4th at 5 o'clock. And our regular business board meeting for the month of December will be on the 18th at 5 o'clock. Does that pretty well work? Pretty well work for Mr. West?
Yeah, it's all right, I mean.
Work for you? Okay. So we have the 4th special call meeting at 5 o'clock, and we have our regular meeting on the 18th at 5 o'clock. Are there any other announcements that need to be made? Hearing none, we will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion with adjourn.
Mr. Storer makes a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Dr. Guest seconds that. Does anybody want to discuss that? Not, we'll move to vote. Mr. West?
Yes.
Mr. Story?
Yes.
Dr. Guest?
Yes.
Myself is yes, and this meeting is adjourned.